Hey, what's going on? I'm going to talk today about how prepared I am for the job hunt and becoming job ready following General Assembly's WDI Bootcamp. So first I'm going to touch on my strengths and then my weaknesses and also how I'm feeling mentally for this job hunt and getting all suited up for my first job. So some of the strengths that I have are that myself and my classmates have skills that are in high demand, that being the ability to program with the front end, the back end, and the full stack. And there's quite a bit of complexity to it, and little nuances here and there that we have, is just like using Git and GitHub are things that I've seen pop up that are mentioned as things you need to learn as a developer, and that's stuff that we learned, and I know that we're all prepared for our first job, so we have skills on a resume that we can show employers. Next, I have a few projects that I can showcase on my portfolio. These are projects that include front-end development, back-end development, are front-end heavy with design and layout, and also like a full stack application that works with some cool technologies. So I've been applying to a lot of front-end jobs, so therefore my resume is heavy with front-end projects, which I think plays to my strengths and is something that benefits me. However, some of my classmates may have a lot of back-end built projects and want to showcase that. So moving forward, we have a limited knowledge of a lot of different technologies. So this being ranging from like a beginner to intermediate level at a lot of stuff, which means we're still in the junior programmer level, but at least having a knowledge of a lot of certain technologies will certainly help us. As previously mentioned, Git and GitHub are great. Some other like little things with HTML and pushing to Heroku, they're little things that we know and I think will help us stand out as opposed to maybe those who are self-taught. So like I mentioned a little bit earlier, I am focusing on front-end web developer jobs, so therefore my resume is built to focus on that. So I think 3 out of my 4 projects or 4 out of my 5 projects are front-end heavy, and I think that plays to my strength so that I can showcase my front-end skills so that employers can see it. Some of my weaknesses, my projects do show that I am junior level. So why does this matter? If an employer is not looking to hire junior level, then I'm out of luck, which is too bad because I do feel like I have skills of that if someone has 6 months to a year of experience, but it is what it is, and that's just unfortunate, but that happens. My resume also shows that I only have 12 weeks experience. This kind of touches on the junior level programmer side of things. You'll notice that a lot of big companies will have the HR managers check your resume, and if they're looking for 2 years experience, then 12 weeks on a resume probably isn't going to cut it, and you'll receive that dreaded email of thanks for applying, but we're considering someone else. That's just a template and they didn't put any thought into it. And so those are 2 flaws, and then the last is I'm feeling a lot of coding challenges, which has been really tough. I feel like I'm prepared for a lot of them. There are some skills that I lack in them, but I feel comfortable attacking the problem and trying to figure out a solution. However, I'm sitting here and I failed probably 4 or 5 thus far, which has been kind of difficult to face mentally, but it is what it is, and you can only move forward. Mentally, how prepared I am for a job. I feel great. I was ready from day one. However, after failing a couple of these coding challenges, a couple of them have been focused on front end with HTML and CSS, and I realized what I didn't know. So luckily I've actually spent some time going back and improving on my skills that I need for the job, and I thought I was ready day one out of the boot camp, but now 2 weeks later I actually have a vastly superior skill set with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I feel more job ready now, and I'm sure in another couple weeks I'll feel the same way looking back to today. So I do feel job ready, however I am noticing growth, which is good and important, and you know, if this process takes 3 months, then hopefully I've spent the time that I have to the best of my ability and really improved to become a better programmer, because essentially if it takes me 3 months to get a job, that'll be the same time frame that it did from day 1 to the last day of the boot camp. So very valuable time, and I've failed the code challenges thus far. However, they have shown a few weaknesses, and luckily I've had the time to build upon those weaknesses. Now that I've seen kind of what gets asked on these coding challenges, I feel like I'll be better prepared for future challenges, and I feel like each one will be more improved. So my first one, I showed some of my classmates. I thought I did a great job on it. However, looking back, there were actually a lot of mistakes. So when the guy emailed back when I asked for criticism, he said, we're looking for someone with a little more polished experience. I totally understand why, looking back now, because here I am 3 weeks later, I'm way better, and if I would ask the project today, I would have been able to A, complete a lot more of the tasks asked, as well as B, add more functionality to the app, as well as just make it look way better and way more professional. So moving forward, I think that's one of the bright spots on an otherwise weakness. Thanks for watching. I know I touched on things a little bit, but if you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll get back to you really quickly, or subscribe and watch a few more videos and kind of get an idea of my journey to become a web developer.